Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a lip swatch video for you guys. I'm super excited because I'm going to be swatching a bunch of the new Wet n Wild Mega Last Liquid Catsuit Matte Liquid Lipsticks, as well as a few of the new shades from the Jordana Sweet Cream Matte Liquid Lip Colors. So I'm going to be swatching all of the new shades that I got, as well as comparing the two formulas because they are very similar in price and just very comparable. So I thought they'd make a good comparison. I have 7 of the new shades from the Liquid Catsuit, the Wet n Wild ones. I didn't buy all of them, mostly because the ones I didn't buy were really light, and I just know certain light shades will not look good on me. They will not work for me. I won't wear them. So I didn't bother buying those, but I did buy 7 shades, so I got a pretty nice variety here. And then I found 4 of the new Jordana shades, and I think the same was for these. They had a few other new shades, but they were so light that I just didn't want to buy them right away because I just knew I wouldn't be wearing them. But I did buy these 4, and then I have almost the complete collection of the original Jordana Sweet Cream liquid lipsticks. I did do a swatch video on that. I will link that below if you haven't seen that. Those came out last spring, I believe, so those are about a year old, and they just came out with some new shades, so I was so excited to see these and try these. So I do have a complete review on these and the formula and everything already. I will link that below, but I wanted to include these in the video and kind of compare the two formulas just to kind of see how they compare. So right now on my lips, I am wearing the Wet n Wild Liquid, this is so hard to say, Mega Last Liquid Catsuit Matte Lipstick in the shade Nice to Fuchsia. It looks a little bit more reddish on my lips, I think, than it does in the tube, which is fine. And yeah, it's very bright. A lot of the shades are very bright, so that's really fun. So this is the packaging. Wet n Wild has come out with liquid lipsticks in the past that were limited edition, I believe, and it's the same packaging as those. Let me grab those just to show you. These are the liquid lipsticks that came out. I think it was last fall that these came out, and they're the exact same size, exact same packaging as these. I imagine they're the same formula. I feel like they are from what I've, from my comparison. They're pretty much the same transfer-wise and stuff. So if you tried these last fall, these are very comparable. But these don't say the liquid catsuit thing. These just say Wet n Wild matte liquid lipsticks. So that's what these are. But I just want to mention these in case anybody tried these last fall and was like, oh, are they the same? They're basically the same, I think. They're not the same colors though, they're all different colors. So anyways, so this is the packaging of the liquid lipsticks. It comes like this with this cute little Catsuit logo on there. I think that's really cute. And then it just opens up like this, a nice clear wand. And then this wand has this sort of, it's like an indent in there, but it's almost like a chair. It's almost like this, like a cup kind of. It's not just like a curve, it's like a sharper thing, which I think is interesting. That is nice because that holds the product there, quite a lot of product. And I was able to do, well, you'll see, I'll show you how I apply them, but I was able to get a full top lip and full bottom lip with like one dip. So like one dip for my top, one dip for my bottom, which usually a lot of times with especially drugstore liquid lipsticks, it takes several dips. So that was a good thing. So let's get into all of the colors and my swatches, and then I will give you guys sort of my general opinion, review, grade on the liquid lipsticks. Okay, so like I said, the first color I have is Nice to Fuchsia. And I also wanted to mention that I am applying my Arbonne lip balm underneath each coat. I apply not a real heavy layer, but a nice light layer under each coat of liquid lipstick. It helps me to take it off, but it also helps it to be more comfortable and just sit nicer on the lips. So I just wanted to mention that. Okay, this one is called Berry Recognize. Okay, so complete top lip with one dip, and whoa, I got a lot. Look at that. I got almost too much there. It's Berry Recognize. It dries so fast too. They dry in like 30 seconds. It's really nice. This next shade I have actually worn before and I love it. This is called Rebel Rose. All right, next one I have is Flame of the Game. This is a really pretty color. I do feel like this one's a little bit streaky, so I think it would require 2 layers. But I really like this color, like a super fire engine red. Another red, we have Missy and Fierce. Video Vixen. Last one, Goth Topic. Okay, so that's all of the Wet n Wild Catsuit liquid lipsticks swatched. I feel like this is a little bit lopsided, but oh well. I'm gonna go ahead and do the Jordana ones real quickly, but I wanted to give you sort of an overview on these. The only two that I thought were streaky and patchy were Flame of the Game and Video Vixen, which is strange because the other ones from the same color families, like this Missy and Fierce, this other red, was so beautiful and so smooth and opaque. And then the Goth Topic that I'm wearing right now, I feel like is really opaque and not streaky at all. So it's weird that like these ones that are so similar, one's streaky, one's not. But I wanted to make sure and make a note of that. So it's good that these ones are good, and you know, there's always gonna be a few duds in the collection. And I think that these would be workable too with just a second layer. I just wanted to compare to like most of them, all like 5 of them are just 1 layer. That's all you need. And that's pretty remarkable for a drugstore liquid lipstick that you can get away with just 1 layer. So, but again, you can totally build these up and make them work if you love the colors. So far, I am absolutely enamored with these Wet n Wild liquid lipsticks. I am really obsessed. I love them so much. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the Jordana ones now so I can compare the formulas, and then I'll give you my final consensus at the end. And I guess I should give you an overview. So this is the packaging. It's similar to the Wet n Wild. It's a little bit smaller, but very similar. So I'm reading here, and this one is actually half the amount of product of the Wet n Wild one. So there are 3 grams in here, 6 grams in here. So that's a pretty big difference right there. I didn't realize that right away. I mean, you can't really tell, but wow, okay. And this is the applicator on these. It's similar to the Wet n Wild ones. I feel like this one is a little bit more kind of curved rather than like really straight like the Wet n Wild one was. But I do like the applicators on these as well. They are very nice. Okay, this first one in the Jordana Sweet Cream Matte is called Cinnamon Toast. Okay, so here we have Cinnamon Toast. So pretty. I love it. Honestly, once this dries, if I was wearing this out, I'd probably put a second layer on. I think that's what I did when I've worn this out a couple times, and I usually put 2 layers on just because right here on my lower lip on the inner part, you can see it's kind of sheer. It doesn't look patchy or streaky, it's just not quite covering, so I'd probably put 2 layers. Oh yeah, Cinnamon Toast. Okay, next we have Molten Chocolate Cake. That sounds delicious. Next I have Currant Jam. Ooh, I'm excited about this one because it's a purple and I love purples. Okay, so here is one layer of Currant Jam. This one is kind of patchy. I just wanted to stop and talk about it. I feel like especially down here, again, it just didn't cover. So I'm gonna let it dry for just a couple seconds and then I'm gonna put a second layer, at least on my bottom lip here, and see how that builds up. It's really pretty color. I just don't like how it's not evenly distributed on my lips. Okay, it layers okay. I remember that from before. I think that a lot of times the darker colors were kind of sheer and they didn't layer super well, so that's frustrating. But yes, so anyways, this is Currant Jam. So pretty. I wish it was a little better. Okay, and the last shade we have is Strawberry Crumble. Alright, so now that I've swatched everything, I've shown you how they apply and what they look like on my lips with my skin tone and everything, I think I'm ready for my final thoughts. There's a definite winner. There is a definite winner, and I was not expecting it, but I have to say the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit, Mega Lash, whatever the heck they're called, are the winner. They are just, they rose above Jordana. I wasn't expecting it. I love Jordana liquid lipsticks so much. I've talked about them in so many favorite videos, but holy cow, Wet n Wild hit it out of the park. They did amazing with these. First of all, the Wet n Wild liquid lipsticks contain twice as much product as their Jordana ones, and their prices are so comparable. That's a little bit ridiculous in and of itself, that these have twice as much product in them. Okay, also, 5 out of the 7 of the Wet n Wild ones applied with one coat on my top lip, one coat on my bottom lip. If you have thinner lips than me, you could probably get away with one coat on both. And that's pretty amazing for a drugstore liquid lipstick. So they apply better with less applications, if that makes sense. Is that like less swipes? I don't know. The applicators are very comparable. The formula of the Wet n Wild ones are a little bit, just a hair thicker. The Jordana ones are a little bit thinner. They're more liquidy, which makes me think that they'd be better to build up, but they actually don't layer as well as the Wet n Wild ones. They just don't layer as well. And I remember that, like I said, from my last, from when I reviewed the original Jordana ones, they just don't layer as well, which is really disappointing, because a lot of them are really sheer. I feel like Cinnamon Toast is my absolute favorite, and I'm not knocking the Jordana ones. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy them. You totally should. I do recommend them. I still love them. Just the Wet n Wild ones are better. They're just hands down. This one, Cinnamon Toast from Jordana, is one of my favorite shades, and again, this one took me 2 layers. With 2 layers, it did layer well, but the darker shades just, I feel like the darker shades just did not layer as well with more than one shade, with more than one layer, and with one layer, it just was see-through. You could just see my lips through it. Now, the one I'm wearing right now, Strawberry Crumble, is beautiful. I mean, the application is lopsided because I just got lazy, but it's very opaque. I feel like this one looks really good, and this is kind of not really a dark color, not really a light, it's a bright, really. So, but this one is just beautiful. This would be a good Valentine's Day color. But yes, so these are good, but the Wet n Wild ones are better, I have to say. Also, the Jordana ones do have a scent. They smell, I think they smell like dessert. I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's like vanilla or something. They smell really, really good. I like the smell a lot. The Wet n Wild ones do not have any scent that I noticed whatsoever. Not good or bad, just no scent, which is fine, you know. As far as transfer, the Jordana ones, they don't really transfer. I got a little bit right there, but once they're dry, if they're applied correctly, they don't transfer at all. And the Wet n Wild ones are the same deal. They don't transfer at all once they're applied, once they are allowed to dry. I feel like the Jordana ones take a little bit longer to dry. They take maybe like a minute or two, whereas the Wet n Wild ones dry within like 30 seconds, which is crazy. I feel like the Jordana ones are a little bit more drying on the lips as well. I feel like the Wet n Wild ones are a little bit more comfortable and natural, but again, I like both the formulas, and if you put a lip balm underneath, the Jordana ones are totally fine. So wow, I don't know. I never thought I would find like a comparable, something that I liked more than these, but leave it to Wet n Wild to always surprise me. I also want to show you guys all of the lipsticks that I have from Jordana and from Wet n Wild swatched on my arms. So I'm going to insert some pictures here in case you want to compare what colors you want, because while the formulas are sort of comparable, I do feel like the color selection is pretty different. I hope that they come out, I always hope they come out with more neutrals. I love this Rebel Rose shade for a neutral, and then from the Jordana one, I love the Cinnamon Toast for a neutral, but the Cinnamon Toast is kind of dark for a neutral, even on my skin tone, and I'm a fair skin. I think this would be too dark, so I don't know. Maybe I have to go out and buy those shades that I thought were too light for me and try them, because maybe they will get darker on my skin as they, you know, as they dry out in the air. So I might have to try that, but I love it. I love all the drugstore liquid lipsticks. Give them all to me. I will take them. They're so much fun. So great. If I think of anything else I want to say about either of these products, I will list it in my description box, so make sure you open that and read that. And I think that's everything I have to say. You guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed already, please do so. I post videos at least 3 days a week. I have a lot of fun drugstore reviews coming up. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That helps other people find my channel in the YouTube world. So thank you again, you guys. I really appreciate you very much, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye!